happening. Over the last few days or last week or so, we had to make a difficult decision to remove to remote learning with ECEC as well as Salt River Elementary School. The decision to do this was for a variety of reasons. At ECEC, we were experiencing a variety of viruses that happened during this time of year, as well as dealing with COVID. So remember, during this time of school year, we typically get the flu season as well as some of the other viruses that happen. So besides getting those viruses, as well as COVID, a combination of things going on at ECEC. With those combination of things going on, I felt the need to shut down for 2 weeks so we could clean and sanitize the playgrounds. While I know this is difficult for families, it's important to make sure everything is clean, sanitized, and we are able to kind of break the cycle of exposure. So that was the decision at ECEC. Keep in mind, ECEC is still providing supports during this time to all families, and I know Ms. Brungard will give us more details when she speaks today. But I appreciate the community's support as we make this transition, as I know it's hard, but I think it's in the best interest of our kids and families as well as staff. We had to make the same transition at the elementary due to some increase in COVID cases. It was after talking with Dr. G, as well as other community leaders, as well as the epidemiologists, we had to make this decision because we wanted to break the cycle of exposure as well there and be able to clean the building from head to toe as well. So they as well are on remote this week. Please keep in mind the second week for both sites, staff members will be back on site the second week and will be providing supports from their classrooms or from their rooms. ECEC will have some supplies they can give away or given to families, as well as the elementary will be teaching their instruction from their classrooms. And then I know Dr. G will give more details about her hybrid model that they will go back on September 27th about. I also wanted to share with everybody the exciting news of ALA is moving to the high school. So ALA will be moving to Salt River High School, and this will happen in December-ish during the winter break time. Our goal is when ALA returns January for that second semester that they will be at the high school. This does not mean that we are expanding our services at this time at ALA. This just means that we are moving ALA to the high school in order to give them more space and more accessibility to different things. As time goes on, we can revisit if we need to expand numbers. However, at this current time, they will move over initially. We are working at replacing carpets, updating equipment at the high school, as well as technology and a variety of things so they can make that move in the winter break. Please keep in mind, once again, we're not changing we're not adding any extra services there. We are just giving them the opportunity to expand and social distance a little bit better. The other things I would like to share is we have the high coming up. We have the graduation recognition event. It's going to be held virtually this year, and it's October 14th. The applications are due October 1, and you can find that on our website where you can apply. I encourage you to do this because it's important that our graduates get recognized. So please, if you have any questions, please reach out to Higher Ed about this. Also, I wanted to share with you, Higher Ed every Friday does an amazing job having guest speakers come in and talk to the people that are involved with Higher Ed. So I encourage you to be part of their Friday chats and be an active part of that as well, because they're a great team of experts to give support if you're looking at Higher Ed needs. The only other few things that I want to share is keep in mind during this time, instruction and learning is still going on. While we might be remote, we are still supporting kids and families with education. So that means our assessment schedule, yes, it might be tweaked, but we're still doing assessments for children, as well as we're still providing step-up tutoring at the high school as well as virtually. So if your child is in need of tutoring, please make sure they reach out to get that information. That can be found on our website, as well as they can reach out to Kathy Tucker here at EdAdmin. Lastly, I encourage you, if you have any questions or you're not sure of anything, reach out and give us a phone call, because we can find you the answer or we can clear it up for you. Communication is really important to us, and making sure that that everybody understands what we are doing here at education is a top priority. So please make sure you do that as well. I want to end by sharing a few things before I pass you on to the next person. I would encourage you to attend our board meetings. They're twice a month, and you can find out all kinds of information that we are looking at to implement as well as talk about in regards to the education division. I also encourage you to check out my weekly updates. I do it through YouTube, and we do a great message every Friday that comes out, and I try to give updates that are going on in the division as well. I also want to remind you we have fall break coming up October 4th through the 8th, as well as NARD, Native American Recognition Day, on September 24th. So I encourage you to mark those places on your calendar. So before we go on to the great site leaders that we have that can share about what's going on at their school, are there any questions at this time in regards to anybody out there? Taté, do you see anything on Facebook Live that would like to be answered?
Nope, Dr. Corlett, not yet, but for our viewers watching, feel free to add comments at any time, whether you're on Microsoft Teams or watching on Facebook. Thank you.
Great. So moving on to our first presenter is our great site leader from ECEC, Tami Brungard. So Tami, can you take a few minutes to share what is going on at ECEC?
Sure. So thanks for being here today. And I am Tami Brungard. I'm the site administrator for the ECEC, and like to share a little bit of what we put in place very quickly. So proud of the ECEC staff that were able to change directions last Friday afternoon and getting ready to go remote, and then also support families. So teachers sent home lesson plans. The lesson plans are focused with activities that families can find the materials in their home. Some help on language development, even math skills, writing skills was sent home. Also, and also with our infant and toddlers, we were able to send home diapers and wipes and pull-ups and formula that we would normally have used this week. So we were able to provide those to the families. We are also able to use our funding a little bit differently now for families that are in isolation. So we can provide families with care packages for families that need to isolate, which includes cleaning supplies and food, just some necessary things that able to help them while they have to isolate. We are going to, all our staff are working really hard, even remote, contacting families. Our family advocates are contacting families, just really keeping the communication open on the needs. And then when we return next week, we will be able to provide more materials once we're on site for families that need that. So we're looking forward to Tuesday having a distribution. We were able to send last week children's books home with the families. We'll be able to supply some more materials for families to utilize at home, as well as those supplies, formula. And we are going to celebrate Grandparents' Day on Tuesday. So we have some awesome things that we're going to send home for all our awesome grandparents. So that will be happening. More information will be coming out about that for next Tuesday. When the staff are on site next week, they'll continue reaching out to families, preparing for when children come back, and looking forward to that. When we come back on the 27th, we will still have all our mitigation efforts in order. We have hand sanitizers as families come in. We do take temperatures of children and adults that are bringing in children. We also have the screening questions. The health office has done a really good job of just looking in and making sure that we have healthy children at the site for our mitigation efforts. Families do take their children to the classrooms, but when possible, they remain outside the classroom. And they knock on the door, and if a staff can come out and receive the child, they do that. That is, in a nutshell, everything from ECEC. We are looking forward to having the children back on the 27th and continuing with that care, because we know for the Early Childhood Education Center, we not only provide Head Start and early Head Start services, but also those child care services.
Great, Tami. Thank you so much for sharing with everybody about what is going on at ECEC. Are there any questions in regards to Ms. Brungard and what is going on at ECEC? Taté, do you see anything on Facebook Live?
I do not, but I also posted a link to the ECEC announcements page, so you're welcome to check that out daily as we post more information. Thanks so much, Tami.
Thank you all.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Tami. Now we have Dr. G from Salt River Elementary, and she's going to share with what's going on at the elementary. Take it away, Dr. G.
Hello, thank you, Dr. Corlett. Welcome guests, colleagues, and Salt River Elementary School family. Thank you for this opportunity to speak to you today regarding not only our mitigation strategies at the elementary school, but giving you some up-to-date information on scheduling that will impact us in the near future. So as was already stated, we are currently in remote status. Staff worked diligently through the weekend to contact families and were able to come onto campus yesterday to prepare and to pass out technology. So as I have been informed, the majority of our students are prepared with their technology. Any MiFis that they have needed, teachers did a great job of contacting families and getting them the materials that they need. So that technology was either distributed to families as they drove up to our campus on Monday, or it was delivered to families in a contactless, safe way. We wanted to make sure that all students can access their classroom remotely. We currently have our remote status will be from September 14th until September 24th. And students will be returning to campus on September 27th in a hybrid model that was recently approved by the governing board and that was mentioned today by Dr. Corlett. A hybrid schedule, what it does is, if you are aware of the way the elementary school is made up, there are two different buildings. One of our buildings holds our front office and then our youngest learners, all the way from our preschool phase students to our second grade students in what is referred to as Building B. Across the basketball court, we have Building A, and that houses all of our third through our sixth grade students. And so because of the dynamic, the nature of the way the school was constructed, what our hybrid model allows us to do is it puts certain grade levels in Building A and certain grade levels in Building B, allowing us to kind of alleviate the numbers that we have in any one place as another way to mitigate the danger and the threat of the virus. We do understand, so the hybrid schedule that's actually going to start on September 27th, I think has been posted in the chat on Microsoft Teams as well as online. Taté does an amazing job of communicating to families. But just in a nutshell, for that 1 week from September 27th to October 1st, so the 1 week prior to fall break, students in FACE, which is our preschool program, second grade and sixth grade will be on campus in-person learning on Mondays and Thursdays. FACE second and sixth grade students will be remote or virtual on Microsoft Teams on Thursday and Friday. And then Wednesdays will be an asynchronous day where they will complete work either provided by the teacher online or in a packet, but the students will work remotely on their own. There will not be, or there will be limited interaction with teachers on Wednesday. And what that allows our custodial crew to do is to come in and do a deep clean on Wednesday. On Thursday, our next groups are the kindergartners, the first grade, third, fourth, and fifth grades. They will be having in-person learning on Tuesdays and Fridays, and they will be remote on Mondays and Thursdays, again with Wednesday being asynchronous. Now, we do understand that for some of our families, those of you that depend on daycare, that hybrid model is a real struggle for you, and we have recognized that. And we appreciate the feedback that we did get from a few parents as well. If you think that your family may need additional childcare resources when we are on our hybrid learning model, and again, that learning model will begin on September 27th and anticipated to last until October 1st at this point. If you will please contact our Eagles Club coordinator. Her name is Devin, D-E-V-I-N, last name Hardin, H-A-R-D-I-N. Her email is devin.hardin@saltriverschools.org. Or her phone number is 480-603-7484. So that was a lot of information, a lot of numbers. I will repeat it, but then I'm sure Taté has information for us online as well. So Devin Hardin can be found at devin.hardin@saltriverschools.org through email or by phone call 480-603-7484. And those are for those families that will experiencing difficulty in childcare on the days that their child is scheduled to be remote during that hybrid model. I wanted to let you know also in the hybrid model, there is an opportunity for students that are in special populations. And so we have a couple of those, the teachers, Mrs. Fullen and Mrs. Gilchrist, who will be communicating to their families a modification to that learning model schedule in which we are able to provide support to students 4 out of the 5 days of the week. So ESS resource students will be contacted by the case manager. And again, laptops have been distributed. If you have a need for technology, please contact the school at 480-362-2400 and let us know of your need, and we will do what we can to get that technology to you. I just wanted to remind you, just like Tami was stating, Ms. Brungard was stating at ECEC, our safety protocols are in force at the elementary school. And we are happy to tell you and proud to tell you that we work hard, that while at school, we do take temperature of students and staff in the morning, and any child that enters the school that has an elevated temperature is sent immediately to the nurse's office, where they will wait for a few minutes and be provided the opportunity to take the temperature again in the case that it's actually just the climate that is making them hot. So we do take temperatures, and we do act on any child that does, or staff member that does have a temperature, is sent home immediately. We have hand washing stations as well as disinfectant that is being used as soon as students and staff enter, as well as guests in our building. We have a 100% mandate of masks. We had the ability to purchase through CARES Act funding thousands and thousands of masks of various sizes. So we do have children's masks, we do have adult masks. If a child does come on campus and it appears that their mask is too big, then we do change out their mask for a smaller child size masks to make sure that they are protected at all times. We are practicing distancing. During recess, we separate equipment, so every class has their own bag of equipment. They have 2 or 3 bags of equipment. That equipment is rotated throughout the week, so it is allowed to dry in the sun, and so it is safe to the touch for the next time that class uses the equipment, and we do not mix equipment between classes. And then also at recess, children continue to have specific places where they will go depending on their age level, their grade level during recess. And finally, the most important is if anybody feels ill, they are asked to stay home. That is staff, that is students. If anybody is not feeling well, we want them to stay home and to not return until they feel better, until all of the protocols are followed for quarantining if necessary. And so again, while students are at school, I can, honestly tell you that all of the things that we are doing in place are helpful, and we will continue our mitigation strategies. I want to end really my session just to remind you that at 4 p.m. today, we'll start our virtual open house. Our staff has created videos, presentations for you to watch, and we are asking that you watch 5 specific videos. Within those specific videos, there is a hidden word, and at the end of watching the 5 videos, then you will have the opportunity to unscramble those words into a phrase, and then you will let us know, your teacher know that you know the phrase, and then we have prizes that were donated by the Home Depot within our neighborhood for families. And so we're really excited that we will be raffling off those prizes for any family that comes up with this secret message in our open house videos. And that drawing will be on Monday the 20th. So really excited about that, and really excited about the videos that you will be able to see starting at 4 p.m. That is all that I have. So I am open for questions and or comments. Thank you, guys.
Does anybody have any questions for Dr. G on Facebook Live or on the chat here on Teams?
Lots of great information, Dr. G. Thank you so much. I have a Facebook comment that says, "Thank you, Salt River Elementary staff." So great job, everyone. Really appreciate it.
So proud of them. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Dr. G.
Thank you, guys.
So moving on to our next presenter is Ms. Nacke with ALA. So Ms. Jama Nacke, if you could come on. Perfect.
Here I am. Are we ready?
We are ready. Go ahead.
Right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Again, my name is Jama Nacke, and I always say the greatest thing is I'm the very proud principal of the Accelerated Learning Academy. Thanks for attending today and being so dedicated to helping kids across the community. We have been very fortunate at ALA. This year, we did cap our numbers to 50. We do currently have a waiting list, but what we are finding is that 50, we're able to social distance our students. And with the screens and with the masks, we have been very fortunate as to have not have gone remote this year so far. So knock on wood for that. The year is going very well. The students' attendance has been great. They've been engaged. They're excited to be back at school. They have, they've already finished some courses. Kids are just flying. They've stayed after school. We've got Saturday school going, and students have just been really dedicated toward getting back to learning again, which has been great. It's been a really positive beginning for us, and the quarter's just coming up to the end here in a couple of weeks. We are looking to have an in-person fall break, but we're just in the process of organizing that right now. So hopefully we'll have that little bit of that intersession possibility. When our students enter, they are screened. We have our great health office, and she is there. Miss B is there to screen our kids so that our temperatures are taken, and provided hand sanitizer, water, all that kind of stuff. So once they go in, they know the drill. It's very smooth. They're always a little bantering, joking, good morning, back and forth. So it's actually a really nice way for the kids to start their day. So far from that, then we also understand that with elementary closing and with ECEC, or not closing, but having to go remote, and ECEC having to go remote, that we've had to be really flexible. For example, we've got some of our students that have children at ECEC. So we're allowing those students, with permission from Dr. Clary, individual permission to obviously work from home. Or if there's a complicating situation at the elementary and that our students need to support with, we are on it to make sure that we support those families as best we can, allowing that remote learning for our students to support those families. So it really is just a big team effort here to keep everybody learning and moving forward. So we've been working on that. We do have an open house next week on the 21st. It will be a virtual open house, and we're working on that right now. It'll be, once again, like what Dr. Guerrero just said, it will be videos, and you'll get to meet all of the teachers. And then thanks to literacy as well, we've got wonderful literacy packets that are going to go home on Monday. All of the students at ALA will be having their progress sent to the families prior to. And then the families will then have an opportunity to meet one-on-one with the teachers or with a group of teachers. So we have that planned within the next couple of weeks for every family to have an opportunity to connect with whom they would like to connect to at ALA, whether it's all 4 of the students' teachers, whether it's administrator, the counselor, anybody. Our doors are always open, but there'll be some formal times within those next 2 weeks. So we're really looking forward to that. And it's nice that sometimes we get to see the families and sometimes we don't, and sometimes the teachers don't get to. So now you'll get to meet your child's teacher, which will be really nice. We have been supplying all of the laptops. So we are ready to go remote or in a hybrid model if it is necessary. We do have a great advantage that all of our students currently have laptops. They have the guided notes. So if we were to go remote, we could do it in a very smooth and very quick fashion that wouldn't interrupt learning. And then we'd also add that we'd have times for all the parents to come and pick up the computers, or if it's necessary, sometimes we've had to deliver those. It's whatever we can do to make sure that continual learning happens with the least amount of downtime. We have learned with the nature of alternative kids, if there's any glitch in a schedule, sometimes it's hard for them to get back on schedule. So we like to keep things as solid and as scheduled as we can at ALA. I would like to thank the teachers that have been working really hard and the other administrators just to connect with all of the kids. We have a lot of new kids this year that we're super excited about. And so we're just working really hard to get to know them and the families and really get to know their individual needs. We have realized for all students, especially a lot of our high school students, that last year was really rough. Sometimes they went to different schools and it didn't work out for them, or they may not have gone at all. And so now they're coming back to us. And so we were quite excited about that. We also like to thank the community for our support in moving to the high school. The students they know about it. Some are a little apprehensive because we were switching things up because ALA is the only place they know, and some of them are very excited about it. But we do appreciate all the new technology and the carpet and really that fresh look for us. It'll be a nice new beginning for us. Other than that, I would say our day-to-day operations is a calm, positive, really about relationships in our learning environment. Students are supported each day, both academically, socially, emotionally, if they need. Some days students come in, one direction and may have had a difficult night. And so we might approach that student's day just a little differently. Student comes in and everything's great, then we might approach that student a little differently. It's really about meeting each individual student where they are that day. And that is really the advantage of being as small as we are. It's just that one-on-one support for all of the kids and the families. So our doors are always open. My door is open, Ms. Washington's door. So if you ever have any questions, concerns, celebration, we would love to hear from you. I think that's about all I have. Does anybody have any questions?
Are there any questions in the chat, as well as are there any on Facebook Live?
I don't see any on Facebook Live or in our chat, but I appreciate all the info. I posted links to the ALA announcements page, including the open house info, and really looking forward to getting more information about that ALA move to the high school. It's gonna be exciting.
Great. I want to thank Ms. Nacke for your information, and that's very exciting. And then I just want to do a few reminders before I turn it over to Taté to finish us out today. I just want to remind families that while ECEC and Salt River Elementary are on remote learning, ALA is still open supporting children for education, so they are still providing services in person, as well as education administration is still in person as well, offering supports to families. So that includes Child Find, as well as student support services, to include SCR, higher ed. So I want to make sure everybody is aware of that these services are still available and in person. I don't want anyone to get the wrong message that education is shut down, because we are not. We are up and running and supporting kids and families in every aspect. We just have 2 sites that are remote learning at the moment. So I just wanted to make sure I clarify that. With that being said, I want to hand it off to Taté Walker, our communications director, so she can give you some information about where you can find other information about the education department.
Thank you so much. Again, really appreciate everyone for being here and joining us today. We like doing these forums because it allows us to reach out in a live version and take your comments if you've got them, but also just an opportunity to showcase some of the great things we're doing. So I want to take this opportunity to sort of give you a little tour of all the great ways that we communicate with folks, especially as we do a lot of more of these remote learning pieces. So I'd like to take you first to our, the pièce de résistance of Salt River Schools, if you will, is our website. Super simple to find us, saltriverschools.org. You could actually miss a few of those S's in there if you type it in, and you'd still get to us. Thanks, IT. We love you. So this is our landing page. And especially when we're talking about, say, our COVID-19 notices, I really want to showcase this piece right here. If you're following along, you can see this COVID-19 information icon. You don't even have to scroll anywhere. If you're watching virtually, which, by the way, Dr. Corlett did a great video on Friday that showed what it looks like if you're on mobile unit watching the website there. This comes up right away. So if you click on it, it takes you to our dashboard, and every site has this link that will take you here. And what's something that a lot of folks have been liking is this piece, this COVID-19 dashboard, which shows our active cases, our resolved cases, meaning those that are no longer active, they've healed up nicely, and what our total case count is. This space right here, the active cases, is primarily what folks want to know about, and it's updated every day, or at least every time we get a new active case. So, and then any announcement that goes out to the entire school, so whether it's the entire ECEC campus or the elementary campus or ALA campus, we also post those announcements here. And so this is another reason, though, why having your school site, giving them your most updated contact information is really important, because while it's on here on the website, great, but you as parents or families with enrolled children in our schools, you get that information first. So, but that's only if we have your correct phone number and correct email addresses. So make sure we've got that from you. Make sure we're not blocked or going to your junk mail. These are really important notices, especially when it says, we're going to our remote learning models. So we don't want anyone to miss those. But keep coming back to our website, because that's always updated. And we have all of our plans here, as the site leaders were mentioning, they're hybrid and remote learning plans, and those are available linked here. Another thing I want to show you on our school page is our newsletters, school newsletters. So every school will do this at the beginning of the month. Thank you, site leaders. And just as a for instance, you can see, say, early childhood education centers update for this month, September. And there's such really good information, how to join the policy council meetings, all the cool events here. Obviously, some of this is subject to change if we go remote, but for the most part, we'll update our website with those kinds of updates. The open house, which they just had last week and is available as a recording on their website. So check out the website for all those great informations. Oh, and another great one is our calendar. Definitely want to have a focus here. Our academic calendar is here, but if you click on calendar, this will take you to all of our updated events. So that includes, for instance, information about our meal distribution. So whenever we have a remote school, our awesome food services staff jumps into action and is able to provide curbside meals to all youth 18 and under. It doesn't matter where they go to school. Doesn't matter if they're even part of the school that's remote. They'll offer those meals to our youth, and the youth don't have to be present to receive the meals. It's breakfast and lunch. Fantastic food. And definitely recommend you going to check it out. Just want to say too that tomorrow we'll have Mrs. Myers from the elementary doing a cool event for International Dot Day. So don't forget to check that out. Meal distribution is always from 10 to 11:30 a.m. at the ECEC Drive Up, so that cafetorium area. Same as we did all last year. So nothing's changed about that. But you can come to our events calendar and see all that information right there, one little spot. What's really cool too is if you wanted to get updates as we make these events, you can click one of these buttons and it'll send you like an email notification. You could even subscribe to an RSS feed, which means it would just be like sort of automatic to your phone. And lots of great ways to connect with us there. But I also want to show you our social media pages. Our big one, of course, being Facebook, which some of you are on right now. Facebook is a great way for us to reach folks immediately. Dr. Corlett's videos are always posted every Friday here, along with our events. So anything that's listed as an event on our website is also listed on our Facebook event page. So check it out. We also share community events as well, information that impacts our families, for instance, Autumn Action News articles. So check it out. Another great place for folks, especially if you're using mobile, while there is a desktop version, the mobile Instagram page is a lot more robust. So I definitely recommend checking that out. YouTube, awesome page. We're seeing some really great subscriptions here. You'll notice our premieres are set for today's elementary open house. Those will be ready to go starting at 4 p.m. And again, as Dr. G was saying, look out for those secret words because there's some awesome prizes that they'll be giving away. But check out you can also subscribe to this and then be notified when we do have a video up. These are really great pages, by the way, to check out when we're doing remote learning because we have some like evergreen lesson plans and books that were read aloud that you can use all the time, especially for our younger learners. So definitely worth checking out there. By the way, YouTube, Facebook, and our Instagram page, all you need to do is Google Salt River Schools and then whatever platform you wanted to check out. So Salt River Schools YouTube, Salt River Schools Facebook, etc. And our pages would come up. So that's pretty cool. And then we also have a LinkedIn page. And this is primarily for our higher ed students. Also, staff as well can connect here. Potential staff can connect here. And this is a place where we'd put some of those more professional elements. So check that out too. Again, you can just Google Salt River Schools LinkedIn and you'd be able to find those. So as we get done here, I just want to reiterate to keep your schools updated with your contact information. That's super important. And I'm looking on our Facebook, I don't see any comments there, but if you had any later, please email. You can email me, Taté.Walker at Salt River Schools. You can email Dr. Corlett at victoria.corlett at Salt River Schools. We also have just sort of a page, just a kind of a all access email if you wanted at communications@saltriverschools.org anytime, or just call us. It's 480-362-2500 and we'll get you where you need to go. We want to be able to be as transparent as possible through all this and help you when we can. Thank you all so much for joining us. Really appreciate your time and your support of our schools, and hope you can join us at our next forum in a couple months. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.